What's going on, everyone? So we got a couple reports in regards to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, as well as the preseason schedule. So I want to jump into the LeBron James aspect of it, and then we'll jump into the preseason part of it. So getting to LeBron. First kind of news and report is that LeBron James understands and is bought in regards to the Lakers kind of building and restructuring around Luka Doncic. That Luka is the priority, which talked about on several occasions. I even made a whole video about how like the media and everyone's trying to make it out like LeBron's dumb, like LeBron's stupid or something, right? Like you don't think LeBron understands how great of an asset Luka Doncic is, not only for the Lakers, but for himself. Luka Doncic is going to give LeBron the ability to be healthier, extend his career, right? Like, because now he has that clear-cut number one option. Love Anthony Davis, but more often than not, Anthony Davis felt like more of a number two than a number one, like a guy that wasn't fully willing to take over the reins. How many times do we have to see LeBron James kind of tap into that fountain, just to give us a chance to win? Now, there'll still be nights here and there. There'll still be moments where we do need LeBron to put the cape on one more time and kind of help us out, right? But it'll be a lot fewer than it was previously because Luka, more often than not, is going to be incredible. Right? We know what Luka can do. We know what Luka can bring to this team. And he takes the pressure off of LeBron as far as the playmaking duties, the scoring duties, having to basically do everything, right? Be the engine and everything. LeBron can focus more on, preserving himself and picking his spots and, hopefully buying in more on the defensive side of things and anchoring the defense and doing all these things that greatly benefit the Lakers beyond just LeBron being great. Right? Luka is arguably the best player, given like where he's at in his career, that LeBron James has ever played with. Right? And it's the perfect kind of like where LeBron is at his career versus Luka. Right? Where if it was reversed, like if we had prime LeBron and prime Luka, it's one of those things where like on paper, it's like, wow, Lakers are going to win 20 championships. But I don't know if it would work as well as it will because LeBron is at that stage of his career where he kind of does want to take a step back a little bit. Still LeBron James. He's still going to be LeBron. He's never really going to be the two option, but he's a guy that come in, play that role, play off ball, but when you need him, you got him. Right? And be more healthy and be more preserved come playoff time. But the other thing is that nothing's changed as far as LeBron James kind of monitoring the Lakers moves. Luka himself said that he believes the Lakers are a championship contender, that they have enough to win an NBA championship. Just because Luka believes that doesn't mean LeBron believes that. Now, what does that mean for LeBron? Yes, LeBron understands that they're going the Luka route and that he's the priority. That's fine. It's one thing to understand it, right? He might accept that and be on board with that if he sticks around. Yes, okay. But where is he as far as what he believes this team is capable of doing? Right? Luka might think they're a championship contender. Rob Pelinka might think they're a championship contender. You might think they're a championship contender. But if LeBron doesn't, then that could change how LeBron maybe approaches as we get closer to training camp. Do we start to hear more of those rumors and speculations of LeBron potentially wanting out? Again, I don't believe LeBron's going anywhere this year. See what happens next season. I believe LeBron will stick it out and be here for the long haul. But it's just something to kind of keep in mind, right? Because again, way everything's phrased, LeBron understands. Doesn't mean that he's going to fully buy in unless the Lakers, are up to snuff where he believes they're up to snuff. So is there still that kind of disconnect? But Shams also talked about how basically Rich Paul's statements were to basically kind of, have people understand like who he is and where he is, the Lakers and the organization. Right? And again, this was from Dave McMenamin. I'm told that the statement that Rich Paul gave Shams Charania back in June when LeBron opted in still stands. That LeBron and his representatives will be monitoring the Lakers' moves that they make because they recognize that there's only a very limited amount of time left in his career and he wants to compete for championships or be competing for championships. And this is what Dave McMenamin. Shams talked about how, LeBron understands and buys in and all that stuff, but to get back to Rich Paul's statement, this is from Rich Paul, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that they've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a crucial part of his career. We understand the difficulties in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. We want to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that they are supportive and want what's best for him. And that was the statement that he said back in June, right? And supposedly he said that to kind of basically send a message to the league that hey, LeBron still wants to compete. LeBron still wants to be here. LeBron still wants all of these things, right? And, even back then he says that, that they understand, right? So the whole, Shams talking about how, hey, LeBron gets it. LeBron understands. LeBron's supportive. I mean, that statement was supportive even back then, right? LeBron was still on board even back then. Or, Rich Paul says LeBron was still understood and on board back then. But him being on board and him being satisfied and believing where we are two very different things. So we'll kind of see how this progresses. Again, I don't think LeBron's going anywhere, but he wants to compete, he wants to contend, he wants to, win a championship, which I do believe is best with Luka. I think Luka gives him genuinely the best shot to win an NBA championship. This team is going to be a very good basketball team. This team, yes, are there holes, are there concerns, are there flaws? Sure, right? But it's you're going to have a healthy, motivated Luka. You got and solved your center position. You got a, defensive just menace and Marcus Smart. Now, can he stay healthy? Those are questions. Jake LaRavia could be the answer at the two-way 3-and-D wing. You have Jared Vanderbilt who's working on his thing. You have all of these components that are all kind of factoring in and playing itself. So again, I want LeBron to be fully bought in, which he seems to be, right? And once he's there with the Lakers and they're in training camp and preseason and all that stuff, he will. I'm not worried about him being fully bought in. I worry about certain statements and certain comments and stuff that kind of draw out this dark cloud of, is LeBron staying? Is LeBron going? Right? I don't want this to carry into the season and become noise and a distraction and all this other stuff. Right? I'd like LeBron to kind of come in and show and prove hey, I'm here, we're here, let's do it, right? We're here to win an NBA championship. Him answering, just give, let Rich Paul give a statement saying that LeBron is all in, right? Is fully bought in and committed to the Lakers this season. Because again, all the statements, all the news, all the noise, everything's just kind of yeah, he gets it, he understands. Yeah, but him understanding and him being bought in are two very different things. Him fully embracing, going, let's go, let's do this, let's make that happen, are not the same thing as him, because he could still understand and get it and want out, right? So I'm hoping that it's one of those things where, we finally get the confirmation we need and are looking for, but diving into kind of the preseason to round out this video. So I don't understand this. I don't know who makes these decisions, right? But Lakers have a handful of preseason games, right? October 3rd, October 5th, October 12th, October 14th, and then they have one October 15th. Why are you playing back-to-back games in preseason? It's the dumbest thing ever. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't like it. It's dumb. Just is. Why are you playing back-to-back games in preseason? Right? Preseason is for them to develop and, build chemistry and get minutes. And you want your stars, you want your guys to play, right? The NBA wants LeBron and Luka and all that stuff to be in these games, right? At least to an extent, right? Then why have back-to-back games? It's foolishness. And then the last game is October 17th. And then the matchups are the Phoenix Suns, the Golden State Warriors again, the Phoenix Suns, the Dallas Mavericks. The back-to-back is against the Suns and the Mavericks, and then the Sacramento Kings. Now, look, obviously preseason is preseason. Right? Can't take too much. Can't take, Lakers losing every preseason game is not the same thing as them. It's irrelevant. right? Like, but you want to see the growth. You don't want to see them lose every preseason game. Let me say that. But context matters, right? If the starters are only playing, the first quarter in all the preseason games, or Luka and LeBron are only playing the first quarter in all the preseason games, and they lose all those games, but it's because they've been playing their bench the whole game. That's not the same thing as like their starters and their main guys playing, 3/4 of the quarter and they're losing all the games. So it's going to be interesting to see how does JJ Redick kind of manage Luka and LeBron, especially with Luka coming back from playing in Sylvania, right? Playing in the Eurobasket, and then LeBron James at this stage of his career, right? The problem is you want to get LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves as many reps as possible, right? You want those three to be on the court in preseason as much as possible. So, within reason, obviously, again, it's preseason. You don't want them to get hurt before, knock on wood, before you get into the actual regular season. But my concern is that they don't really play those guys. Like we barely see them play, if at all. And I have my concerns about that because, again, he's coming back from, Eurobasket and then LeBron's age. Like, one of the exciting elements of this is now we have a full training camp preseason, right? And then leading in the NBA season with Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves. So you can kind of see and get a feel and they can start building that chemistry going into the season. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll see how it all works. The LeBron situation, look, like I said, I don't think he goes anywhere this year. I just don't want the noise to keep carrying on. I don't want the noise to keep drawing out. It's just like, come on, man. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.